Hello and welcome to another Mr. Huff and Puff screencast. This is the second attempt at modelling an exam question and how you should structure an exam question. If you've seen my previous video, you would have known that we looked at peel. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through how I would answer this question. Again, I haven't practiced it because I think it's important that you see my thought processes, maybe areas that I make mistakes, so you know sort of what to do next time and sort of perhaps what we're looking at. Okay, so let's look at the question first. So protection is a function of the skeletal system. That's a statement, we know that. Okay, one of the functions of the skeletal system is protection. Explain using one example how the skeletal system's protective function aids performance in physical activity and sport. So let's look at key command words. It wants an explanation, so explain using one example how the skeletal system's protective function aids performance in physical activity and sport. So first and foremost, I'm going to put peel in here. Okay, so point, explain, analyze or apply, and link. Now my link is that you link it back to the question. It's a 3-mark question, and as I've already suggested, that if you're able to answer a 3-mark question, you should be able to build into 6 markers and 9 markers. You just do a paragraph per part of the question. Okay, so let's start. Explain using, first thing, let's put P in here, point. Okay, so why is protection part of the skeletal system? What does it do? Well, protection reduces the chances of the performer being injured. That's what the skeletal system does. So protection reduces the chance of a performer becoming injured. Okay, you'd get 1 mark for that. Now, using the peel, formula here. Okay, point, example, apply, or analyze and link. Okay, it wants us to explain using one example. So let's put an example in here, and I'm sure you can think of lots of examples. Now, you might start out with a sentence full stop. Okay, like I've done here. I'm going to put an example is that the cranium, now it's going to want you to use specific language. Okay, so an example is that the cranium protects the head in football when heading the football. Okay, and you get 1 mark for that. Okay, so 1 mark here. Protection reduces the chance of a performer becoming injured. 1 mark. An example is that the cranium protects the head in football when heading the football. That would be a 2nd mark. How does this then have an impact on performance? And this is where your analyze comes in, or you apply it to a performer. Therefore, a performer can head a football without being knocked out or causing injury. Okay, so that's where we are. Let me get a highlighter a second out of one of my drawers. But that is what we're looking at here. And there you would have 3 marks for that answer right there. Okay, now let me highlight a few areas here. Always on 3-mark questions and more, use peel. Point, example, analyze or apply, and link. Sorry, and here we go. And I would always write it down the left-hand side. You could even write it in this section down here, outside the lines, where you have to remember when you write an exam questions, they only mark the inside of the lines because that's how it gets scanned in. But I would mark it down there. Okay, and if I added in an L, a link, that would probably move me into a 4-mark question and would certainly develop me for 6 and 9-mark questions. So for this one, and I'll do a bit of work with you on assessment objectives, AO1, AO2, and AO3, but that would be AO1, okay, which is basic knowledge, okay, knowledge and understanding. AO2 then, okay, is how you apply that. Can you expand on what you're talking about? And in this case, this one is an AO2 as well, but it could be an AO3 as well. And you expand your answer into there. So just to make you aware, you would get, for this question, you'd get 1 mark for a protective function, which is there. Okay, what reduces the chance of injury? You then get up to 2 marks, 1 mark for an example here, and then you get 1 mark for how this affects performance. And I will do another video on the peel structure for your PE questions. And I hope this will help you be able to answer exam questions better than what you have been able to do so far. Feel free to subscribe to my podcasts on Anchor and iTunes. Search for Mr. Huff and Puff, and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well for updated videos and so forth. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I hope this was useful for you. Thank you for listening, and I hope you'll join me again soon.